Perception has a very unique focus. We spend half of our time creating what we consider to be future tech for film. When you see, holograms are fantastical interfaces in blockbuster movies. We deliver our vision of the future to those films. Then we spend the other half of our time creating concepts for next generation technologies or particularly user interfaces.
We started the company as a motion graphics and animation studio in late 2001, and in the beginning, most of the work was working with big broadcast networks and ad agencies. So we did a lot of commercials, a lot of promos, brand identities, and things of that nature. When we're working in feature films, the UIs that we create are very in-your-face UIs, and they're designed to be noticeable and forward-looking and visionary, whereas our real-world projects sometimes are quite the opposite, and we're really forced to try to make our UIs almost invisible.
A lot of people in technology, I think, are inspired by cinema and by science fiction. It's something that is at the root of, a lot of our own fascinations with science and technology. So there's certainly a lot of people from the tech world who are saying, oh, we'd like to take what we saw in this film and find a way to make that a reality, or find a way for our products to feel a little bit more similar to that. So we've been working with Marvel again and again on contributing these futuristic user interfaces to films, on everything from Avengers to Thor to the RoboCop remake. In that film in particular, the director, Jose Padilla, really appreciated that all of these heads-up displays and interfaces that we were making, they weren't just glowing blue design elements or graphic eye candy. They actually all had logical systems to them, and there was, a complex flow chart that was emanating towards the center of the screen, kind of creating a final solution to this equation of all these different cross-referenced pieces of evidence that RoboCop is constantly gathering. We ended up developing Tony Stark's glass phone, his transparent coffee table user interface, windows and mirrors, and all these other elements that surrounded him in his world. It was a great opportunity for us because we got to brand a lot of Tony Stark's technology. One of the really fun ones was creating Arnim Zola in Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier. The directors had said, we have this character, he has basically had his being transferred into a computer, but it's a computer system from the 60s, and it's running on, reel-to-reel tapes, and it's in a giant, massive data center full of antiquated equipment.
One of the biggest questions I get most often from technology companies is, all right, so you guys do all this cool work for feature films, you do the RoboCops, the Avengers, the Captain Americas, the Iron Man. What does it have to do with designing for real-world technology? And there's 4 specific parallels that continually come up every time we do a technology project. And the 4 parallels are storytelling. The second one is creating a cinematic experience. How do we take a UI and make it feel like it came out of a movie? The third parallel is the entertainment value. We want to always engage and immerse our audience. And then the fourth parallel is this idea of soul. What I mean by soul is that a UI is a living, breathing organism, that it was designed by a human to be used by humans.
We worked with Microsoft a few years ago contributing to the HoloLens project, but yes, at the time, we didn't actually know it was HoloLens. We're currently working on some really interesting military-grade cybersecurity platforms and other interesting things of that nature. And it's just a trend that we're seeing. I think everybody is putting a lot more value in user interface than they were 5 or 10 years ago.